So let's talk about perceptual realities. This is kind of a big one, so hopefully I don't get lost. I have a little bit better focus these days, even though I'm like hyper aware of everything, very easily distracted. Because like I said, everything speaks. Here's a thing that I've recognized and why I've noticed that all of the reflections of me that are at the highest, where they're recognizing the same things I'm recognizing, they're seeing through the matrix at a profoundly deep level. They're realizing how quickly we've suddenly begin to manifest every thought, feeling, and stored energy. But we all have like this extra level of awareness, right? Not all of us. I think all of us, we've all amped up our energy. The earth has kind of forced that to happen. Not the earth, but all of the things. And then CERN, of course, opening up portals and whatnot to fourth and fifth dimensions. And that's where all of our shadows are dwell, black holes. That's where it goes when it doesn't fit through the eye of the needle, if my intuition is correct. That one I didn't actually hear anywhere, but I do know about imploding our fractals and becoming light so that we can fit through the eye of the needle and stop these cycles of karmic loops. And that just means making higher choices every time you get a chance and working your shit out. And it's really hard when you keep creating it, or when you carry it when it doesn't belong. You just stay stuck in a pattern, a really good intended pattern. But anyway, perceptual realities. We all hold our own. I know this is really, kind of a big thought, but the friends I think that would be watching this likely would follow, hopefully, what I'm saying. So let's just say we've all had this experience where we like have a conversation with somebody or even an argument. Shit, the argument one thing is hilarious because sometimes people argue and they're saying the same freaking thing. They just are looking at it from a different dimensional reality that they live in because they have their own thoughts, their own concepts, their own beliefs, their own patterns, their own experiences, their own karmic debt, their own whole bunch of stuff that creates their own perceptual reality until they clear a lot of that bunch of stuff out of the way. And so anything that, so yeah, there's that argument example. But let's say that two people are having a conversation, and I've seen this where it doesn't become like an argument, where it's just two people, you say something to somebody, and you say something, but they see it and or hear it completely differently. It's not exactly at all sometimes what you're saying. Like, however they took it was not at all how you were throwing it down. And you know that from your heart's heart that you did not intend for it to be taken that way. But because of this whole thing called perceptual reality, like I said, we all have our own filter. So they take whatever you say and they filter it through their dimensional reality. And it can only mean to them what it means to them. I mean, there are plenty of times where if people are calm enough and centered enough in their hearts, they can sometimes see that even if they don't agree, they can be like, oh, I understand what you're saying, but yeah, that's not what's going on here. Or, oh, that's what you meant. I was totally thinking you meant something totally different. I don't even know why I thought that. Well, after a while of doing this and identifying these patterns, you'll realize exactly why you're doing that. And it's because it's a thought pattern, and that you're not in a reality that can perceive everything going on simultaneously. You're not multidimensional enough to be able to analyze that something that you hear could possibly mean something else. Just because we're triggered does not mean that it's actually what the other person is saying, doing, thinking, feeling. It's only how we are taking it. We're only able to process it from our place of processing. So there are times, and sometimes really big times, that are very heavy, and sometimes in multiple layers. Like for people like me, I have so many different things going on at once that have accumulated because I've been stuck still for so long that right now there are many perceptual realities that just are not true, and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, if I was trying to be more direct, it wouldn't even matter, because I'm speaking the truth, straight through, top to bottom, in and out, as above, as below. I could not be more clear about what's really going on in this existence. And things are being perceived from other ways. So that being the case, the only thing that the other person could ever possibly do is react from that space and do things from that space. And then, unfortunately, create things in their own life that continue that space to replicate itself. They're only going to be able to magnetize things that just keep backing up what they say, because that's what they're focused on. And that's what they're thinking about. I can see that that's happening in my life. And it's so intertwined and so deeply embedded. And sometimes there are so many of us that have programs that are so deep, and myself is included in that, everyone, to many degrees. I've busted through so many glass ceilings to get to this one and realize that there's nothing I can do about people's perceptual realities. And as much as I want to be able to focus on trying to fix something or portray an aspect of me that looks like what people want me to look like, I just can't do that. I can only be me. And so I think a lot of us fully waking up people that are now looking at the matrix from the outside in, realize that we have to surrender. We have to go and be at peace, where there are not people that are stuck in thought loop patterns, that are actually convinced that you're stuck in a thought loop pattern. It's really deeply embedded. I mean, people that think they know what's going on with the matrix are so stuck in it that they think they're controlling it. Whoo! That's hardcore, man. And you don't realize it until it comes and hits you upside the head. And I don't want to create bad ripples for anybody else, because their focus is in a negative arena, and I understand that they are at some point going to have to taste what they've created. And because this world is what that is now, it's not just, one against another. It's all of us dealing with our own demons, our own stuff. And those that have chosen a life of judging others and seeing everything through a filter of anger or hate or fear or betrayal or abandonment, or you name it, the things are endless. They're going to keep operating from that place. And if you want to take it on an even bigger scale, that's what anything that we would serve that we would think is higher than us is also stuck at, because there is no one that's separate from the other. There's no us and them. There's no me and another entity. There's no me and God. There's no me and Jesus. There's no me and Buddha. We're all right here, and we're all in there. You guys got it all inside you, running through your DNA. And it's asking you to make higher choices so that you can stop the ripple and get out of this hell that is called Earth. Earth itself, Maya, beautiful and golden, is actually storing all this energy, which is why all these catastrophes are happening. We're creating all of these worldwide disasters like earthquakes and tsunamis with the amount of shadows that we